What is unnerving is that you don't see anything. Yeah, Tammy, thank you so much. Use the thermal one more time. Oh wait, look at the front window there. To the right on the window. Not the window, the one to the door. It looks like a face. Right next to the three stickers on the door. On the right hand side. It looks like a face. Right next to the three stickers on the door. On the right hand side. This wouldn't be the first time something unexplained happened at this location. There's even been unexplained things that have happened with police body cameras, such as these videos.
Well, there's plenty of first fingers here.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What in the world is that? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that noise came.
Yeah, it sounded like a kid toy.
It sort of sounds like it.
Something. I heard it.
That one, did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
It did.
Where did that come from? Because all he did was go straight in there.
As you may know, there was another incident in September after the murders where a woman was seen on CCTV camera footage going into the house, but was never seen leaving the house. When police were called to investigate, they were noticeably nervous, but did not find anyone inside the house. This reminds me very much of my paranormal Watt story.
Frederick Police Department, anybody down here?
All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Watts the Obsession live stream and chat. And tonight we are going to be talking about the Watts case, and we're doing something kind of different. We're talking about the Watts case as it pertains to the idea of things being haunted. I know that people have said and people believe that the house itself is perhaps possessed by a demon of some sort or some evil spirit of some sort. And I truly think that is a possibility based on what happened there and a number of other things we're going to talk about tonight. Now, I do want to tell you that I am not a non-believer in the paranormal, in ghosts, and in the possibility of spirits being here with us on Earth that aren't exactly human, but I'm also not a huge believer in that kind of thing. So when I tell you my story about what happened as it has to do with the Watts case, that I believe was a paranormal experience, or, when I'm talking about the possibility of other paranormal things being involved with the case, I take it seriously because I really don't believe in that kind of stuff at all. So, welcome everybody. How are you doing? Let's see. Let me just check out who's in chat here and what's going on. So awesome. We have 98 people. Please click like so it invites more of our friends to the stream. I would really appreciate it. That's kind of how the notifications work. YouTube is always changing things up with how they work the notifications and things like that. So I know that recently it has been tried out by a lot of creators, and it is proven to be the case. The more you click likes, the more people are chatting in chat, the more that notification gets out there. So we want to invite our friends to come and join us, because the more the merrier. And hey, happy Friday night. It's a What's the Obsession Friday night date night. It is Friday. I had to think about that because I had today off and I have all next week off for spring break. So I had to think about that for a minute. So, hey guys, how are you doing? I see everybody here. I'm not going to go through and say hi to everybody because I was already late, and I'm sorry about that. And thank you guys so much for being here and being patient. I had some family obligations that went a little, things always go longer than I expect. Who am I kidding, right? I know they do. I know. So, whoops. Let me see what's going on here. I got a video uploading. Let's see if it is done cooking yet. Come on, baby. Cook it, YouTube. So I hope everyone's doing really great. How are you guys doing, by the way? If you're new here, please let us know in chat so we can say hi to you and let us know where you're from. And everybody who's watching the replay, hi guys. I'm so glad you're here too. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And hopefully we won't have anything crazy happen like it did last night. That was super weird. Oh, good. It is ready. It's done cooking. Yeah. All right. Oh, and I also want to say, especially to the moderators, thank you guys so much. You guys are the bomb. I appreciate you more than you could ever know. All right, so, oops. Let me get past the part that we just watched here. Okay. Bring this into the stream. Catch some volume. Make it big and press play. All right.
It looks like a face. Right next to the 3 stickers on the door, on the right-hand side.
Now, I just want to say that I don't see this here as much as I see what he's talking about, but like, I'm not so sure about it. I think that could be a lighting issue or something like that. But this person, and I have to go catch the channel's name, I'll put it in the description. And everybody whose little video clips I'm using tonight, because I'm using a few of them, I asked for permission, got permission. That's how I use videos. It's a good thing to do. Something that he catches, the same person catches a little bit later, is kind of like, oh, I thought it was pretty crazy. I can't wait to see what you guys think.
This wouldn't be the first time something unexplained happened at this location. There's even been unexplained things that have happened with police body cameras, such as these videos.
There's plenty of first thing to feel.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What in the world is that? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that noise came.
Yeah, it sounded like a kid toy.
It sort of sounds like it.
Something. I heard it.
That one, did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
It did.
Where did that come from? Because all he did was go straight in there.
As you may know, there was Now, what I always notice about that clip is how nervous Jane is a dog handler. We know that from other scenes that we saw of her in the body cam footage that were disappointing. We won't go there tonight. But what I always notice in that clip is how incredibly nervous Jane seems in that clip there. When they hear the giggles, do you guys think she's nervous?
Another incident in September after the murders where a woman was seen on CCTV camera footage going into the house, but was never seen leaving the house. When police were called to investigate, they were noticeably nervous, but did not find anyone inside the house. This reminds me very much of my paranormal Watt story.
Frederick Police Department, anybody Get here!
I'm back. This happened last night. I'm on a different computer. I'm using all different equipment. This is either StreamYard or it's weird. Sorry about that, guys. Let me bring that back into the stream for you guys. Not good. Sorry about that.
Where a woman was seen on CCTV camera footage going into the house, but was never seen leaving the house. When police were called to investigate, they were noticeably nervous, but did not find anyone inside the house. This reminds me very much of my paranormal Watt story.
Brunswick Police Department, anybody down here? Brunswick Police Department, anybody down here?
If anyone wants my secret, let me find my secret. Where's my secret, Chris? Where's my secret? A baby? Baby? We're having baby fever over here. Kids are having baby fever. You want a brother? Or sister? Sister. You're sad the baby left?
Shanann, who was 15 weeks pregnant with a son, Nico, was found in a shallow grave. Their two daughters submerged in oil.
A lot of people want to know if Watts could also face a murder charge for his unborn baby. The simple answer is no.
Colorado does not recognize an unborn child, literally at any stage, as a person for the purposes of our murder statute. So the easy answer is no. The father of the unborn child cannot be charged with murder relating to the unborn child.
We're excited, and Cece's on week 2 of potty training. Do you have any accidents today? No accidents today at school. No accidents this weekend. She's had 2 accidents in 2 weeks, which is incredible. A lot of, yes, baby. She can, but after mommy. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
Say thank you for being the compliments.
Thank you to compliment.
All right, guys. Have a great day, and we're going to go celebrate our excitement over here. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
I'm still here. It's crazy. Let me just realize this is so crazy. So this is one of the things that only happens when I'm doing material on the Watts case. It's truly the case. One time when I was doing a video on the Idaho 4 case, I had like weird problems like this, but it's always Watts, man. Let's see. All right.
Yeah.
Court records are revealing crucial details into the murder investigation of pregnant mom Shanann Watts and her 2 daughters. Just before 5:30 in the morning, a neighbor's surveillance camera captures Chris loading something into the back of his truck.
I'm right here.
Oh. No.
Oh no.
Oh no. What happened?
What happened, baby?
Save me, Mommy.
I saved you. You're right here. You're safe. He's not going to get you. He's not a mean monster.
My friend, do you believe in signs? Do you believe that we see signs in life that tell us things that we don't perceive in our own consciousness? Well, let me tell you, if you didn't believe in signs before watching this, you just might believe in them after watching this, because this is pretty wild. So let's take a quick look at the timeline for the morning of August 13th, 2018. That was a Monday morning, from when Shanann Watts was caught on camera walking into her house as she was coming home from a business trip in Arizona, up until the point when Chris Watts had been summoned home by Shanann's friend, Nicole, and he arrived at home to be greeted by an officer. Then he went over to his neighbor Nate's house, and they were reviewing security camera footage to see what could be seen on that security camera footage. Did it catch any footage of Shanann or the girls leaving the house? Remember, at this point, the whole world, other than Chris Watts and perhaps maybe another person or so, believe that Shanann and Bella and Celeste and unborn baby Nico are just missing. They had just gone missing. This is so new. Nobody could have ever known at this point what the world was going to soon learn happened to Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and unborn baby Nico. What a horrific tragedy. When we're talking timeline, I think it's important to note that although there is no mention of it in the official Discovery timeline, the 111-minute phone call that Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger held the evening of August 12th, just minutes before Shanann touched down at the Denver airport as she returned from her business trip in Arizona, happened from 9:28 p.m. to 11:19 p.m. on August 12th. Again, that's 9:28 p.m. to 11:19 p.m. Just 2 minutes after that phone call ended at 11:21 p.m. on August 12th, the note in the Discovery says, Watts finally replied, "Holy crap, sorry, I passed out on the couch. That's going to be late." And this was in response to Shanann trying to let Chris Watts know that her flight was delayed. So now we come to August 13th, 2018. At 1:48 a.m., the note says, Watts' phones logged the Vivint alert of Shanann's entry into their home. At the same moment, the Vivint video monitor captured Shanann as she walked up to the home and entered. Her friend Nicole was captured backing out of the driveway. Between 1:48 a.m. and 4:23 a.m., there were no movements detected on the main floor of the home, according to Vivint. Shortly after the 5 a.m. hour, that is when neighbor Nate's security camera caught Chris Watts backing his truck up into the driveway and making several trips from the house to the truck when he was loading the truck with his wife Shanann and loading Bella and Celeste into the truck. He left the house at 5:48 a.m., headed to Survey 319. In those early morning hours, while at Survey 319, Watts sent a flurry of texts to his coworkers, letting him know where he was, asking where they were. Certainly, he did not want them to show up while he was doing whatever he was doing. There's a number of important text messages in here, and I go over them in detail in different videos. At 7:40, Watts sends Shanann the first of his many stage messages asking where Shanann is at. While at Survey 319 at 10:10 a.m., Watts searches for the lyrics to the song Battery by Metallica. He later tells investigators that it was Nicole Kessinger that wanted to know what the song was about. She wanted to know what the words were to the song. He says that she has a range of musical interests and she was a little bit into Metallica. The lyrics of the song go like this: lashing out the action, returning the reaction. Weak are ripped and torn away. Hypnotizing power, crushing all that cower. Battery is here to stay. Smashing through the boundaries, lunacy has found me, cannot stop the battery. Pounding out aggression turns into obsession, cannot kill the battery, cannot kill the family, battery is found in me. Crushing all deceivers, mashing non-believers, never-ending potency. Hungry violence seeker, feeding off the weaker, breeding on insanity. Circle of destruction, hammer comes crushing, powerhouse of energy, whipping up a fury, dominating flurry. We create the battery. From 10:28 a.m. to 10:51 a.m., Sandy Rusick, Shanann's mom, is texting and calling Chris, asking where Shanann is at. These texts and calls are intermixed with Chris Watts looking up vacation spots in Aspen and calling hotels. As word gets around about Shanann and the girls' whereabouts being unknown, Shanann's friends start to contact Chris by calling him, sending him text messages, led by Nicole Atkinson, who is, in my opinion, a hero. And he arrives home finally, reluctantly, a little after 2 p.m. and is greeted by one law enforcement officer, Officer Coonrod. So we know that here, Chris does a terrible job pretending that he is looking for Shanann. He pretends that he finds Shanann's phones. Oh, surprise. And eventually, Nicole Atkinson's son, Nicholas, makes his way over to neighbor Nate's house. Officer Coonrod follows, and so does Chris Watts. So let's just all watch together as Chris Watts flounders a bit when he arrives at neighbor Nate's house with Officer Coonrod, and they're watching the security camera footage of him taking things to his truck in the early morning hours that very same day.
What's that?
Nothing on there. My camera. Lay down.
Loading my stuff up in my coolers, my water jugs, my book bag, my computers, some of the tools that I have in the toolbox. I knew I was going to have to do some pumping into rubbers today. That's why I was out so far.
Is this on continually recording?
Yep. Well,
it's not. Is it motion or is it? Okay, so it's motion.
Any motion event that happens, but I get cars driving from this street, This is him at 5:17.
We park out there on the side. I just want to get everything back in. Be easier for loading everything out there, all the tools that I had to bring in. What else can I do with this?
My detective just showed up. So he'll probably want to talk to you. He'd probably, like I said, he might have you call at the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there was any sort of action out there,
On his cameras,
I would have got it.
Like
Right.
we had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that. And I had parked my truck
I
up
had
here.
it parked right here.
Yeah. There's someone,
See if
I could
anything
see where
happened.
someone tried to jimmy with a flathead screwdriver over there, and it was just like.
But if any action would have happened, any cars or anything left your house, I would
Yeah,
have
there
got
would
it.
have been like right in that area. They should have picked me.
Oh, it'll pick up anything coming down the street this way.
You know where that tree is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Watch, I'll show you. There's nothing on here. We've already watched that one. But like, you'll see this car.
What security system do you have?
Let me show you this car. You can see this car starting to drive down the street.
That one.
Oh, look. Okay.
See what I'm saying? It picks up all the way down there.
That's cool.
He's next door.
Can we go?
Talking about dispatcher. He'll be close for.
Yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way making this turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the cars pulling a U-turn. So, unless they pulled right here,
Yeah.
but I would have caught her walking out. Diesel.
You're good.
Yeah, I thought nothing.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks. That's why her friend said it was low blood sugar.
Now, before we go into the sign sent straight from the American Horror Story commercial, I just want you to notice something. If you're to take a look at Officer Coonrod's body cam clock, right now, when Chris Watts is saying, oh, and she's pregnant, she's 14, 15 weeks pregnant, fesses that up for the first time to Officer Coonrod, it is 2:42 p.m. Now, I'm sure you notice all the while when Officer Coonrod and neighbor Nate are looking at the security camera footage and they're focusing on it, Chris Watts is pacing around looking like he's basically going to pass out, and he's looking at his phone an awful lot. So if we were to cross-reference material from the discovery, we will find out that Chris Watts sends Nicole Kessinger a message at 2:44 p.m. just after this moment right here, when Chris Watts tells Officer Coonrod that Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant. And it says, oh my gosh, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. Since many of the messages between Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger were erased, we don't know exactly what this message was in reference to, so we can only speculate. But we can hear what Nicole Kessinger has to say about it.
This is the one I don't know if this is in order. I'm not sure exactly what this is referring to. I think this one at the bottom, this, oh my God, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. That, do you remember when I told you, like, I was always kind of like incorporate his kids and stuff? I mean, even if it wasn't like directly like me and him, but just like I was always thinking cute stuff when I'd see stuff and I was like, oh my God, little girl was like that. I would show him, and I found this box of Lucky Charms that was unicorn Lucky Charms.
Okay.
And I thought they were really cute. And I texted it to him and I was like, do your little girls know about these? Because they're awesome. And I was like, little stuff like that. And
So to give the American Horror Story commercial that pops up on the screen when neighbor Nate Officer Coonrod and Chris Watts are looking at the security camera footage, trying to find his missing wife, who's pregnant, and his two daughters, when upon the screen pops up a fetus and some other things we're going to discuss in a moment in the American Horror Story commercial. This is all going on while Chris Watts is texting with his mistress about who knows what that culminates into a text. Oh my gosh, that's absolutely ridiculous. They would freak out. That is explained by Nicole Kessinger by, well, you just heard it. So if this American Horror Story commercial is a sign, and if it is a sign that was sent from Shanann to be like, hey, yeah, don't forget us. We were of this earth just a few hours ago, and we are no longer of this earth because of you, jackass. It makes all the more sense to me that it happens in that timing.
Now, guys, isn't that really crazy that the timing of this American Horror Story commercial popping up that just happens to be, show that fetus? And then I don't know if you've all seen this commercial before, but if you haven't, wait till you see the rest of it, because it goes on to show, some like creatures and like an oil, like a crude oil like substance. It's really wild. The fact that that commercial pops up at all, I think, is absolutely crazy. But what makes it even crazier, if you didn't catch all that I just said, is that the timing of when it pops up is right at the moment that we know that Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger are texting one another. And I think that is absolutely crazy. Did you guys know that? I think it's wild. Really crazy.
So unless they pulled right here,
Yeah.
but I would have caught her walking. But yeah, I thought nothing.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
That's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
Now I know that many people have caught the fetus coming up on the screen at that moment, but whoa, did you see what followed?
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
Regardless of what may be believed to be haunted, possessed, or supernatural in this case, one of the most haunting facts that we now know is the ride that Celeste and Bella Watts took from 2825 Saratoga Trail to Survey 319 on that fateful morning of this horrific tragedy, with her mother Shanann lying on the floorboard in the back seat of Chris Watts' truck, with the little girl's feet resting on their mother's body. We can't even imagine.
I saved you. You're right here. You're safe. He's not going to get you. He's not a mean monster. See, Domino. I'm right here.
Now, this is actual footage at Survey 319, as close as you can get to Survey 319 once people get to this gate, and a few people have done it on YouTube. The cell signal starts to cut out, and the video gets really choppy, and eventually they cannot maintain a video any longer. And then what you're going to see, what's upcoming next, is the actual ride that Bella and Celeste would have gone on, and Shanann, of course, in that truck on their way from 2825 Saratoga Trail to Survey 319. can't.
Yeah? Let's do it. A little hair. Ready? Set?
Cece, what's
Cece,
Daddy
I am
doing?
so sorry. When you're
Let's watch that in slow motion.
So remember, this came up at the very moment that Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger were texting one another about who knows what, when he said, oh, that's freaking ridiculous. Whatever. And she said it was about Lucky Charms cereal. Look at that. How crazy is that, guys? How crazy is that?
Wow, that is truly incredible. Please leave a comment letting us know what you think. We all want to know what you think. And do you believe that this commercial, this American Horror Story commercial that played at just the right time in front of Chris Watts' very eyes, in front of the eyes of law enforcement, do you think this was a sign?
Wild. So, all right. Let's see. I just want to read a couple comments here. Now, I know that somebody said, and, trigger warning, as Sis Vicious had put up on the screen, as we're talking about this, especially, somebody had said that they don't think that the girls were alive on the ride to Survey 319. And none of us know for sure. What I've come to believe based on what we know, what Chris Watts has said, and some other things that have been said, and I base this mostly on Chris Watts, his very own statements. I believe that Bella was alive. And the reason that I believe that is that when you're listening to Chris Watts speak and you're watching him and you're trying to determine if he's being truthful or if he's being deceptive, Chris Watts has a very strange baseline. And one of the only ways I've been able to identify when we know that allows us to know that Chris Watts is in fact telling the truth is when he has any kind of emotion behind what he's saying, because he generally is very deadpan. He generally does not have any emotion behind what he is saying. Now, in his confession from Dodge Correctional Facility, which was recorded in February of 2019, Chris is very emotional when he talks about what happened to Bella and what he did to Bella. Very emotional. He gives up for him, right? I mean, if anyone else went through something like that, if a normal person went through something like that, which they wouldn't, but say like if they observed it, they'd be far more emotional. We have to remember the baseline is on a sliding scale, and Chris Watts' baseline is really strange. And when he talks about Cece, every time he mentions Cece in his story from Dodge Correctional Facility, when he's talking about what really happened at the end of those precious souls' lives, he barely mentions Cece. Now, we know from his own account and from what other people say that Cece was his favorite child, right? He said that when they first had Bella, well, he blamed it on Shanann, of course, because he blames everything on Shanann, saying that, well, Shanann and Bella were much closer. So that made me not want to be as close to Bella. So when we had Cece, it was kind of like my kid, you know, and also when Bella was a baby, I didn't know how to take care of her, so I couldn't really bond with her. How many of you have been first-time parents? None of us really know how to take care of our brand new babies the first time around. I mean, that's a really crazy thing to expect, but you bond with them nonetheless, right? So the fact that he even mentions it was hard for him to bond with her because she was the firstborn is a little strange in itself. Now, also, he's asked about what happened with the girls, he says they woke up. So that to me corroborates the story that was told to Sherilyn Cadle by Chris that she put in her letters from Christopher book, where he said that he tried to end things for the girls at some point and the girls woke back up. Just 1 minute, please. Sorry, it's gonna be a lot of crinkly background noise. I personally believe that Cece did not wake back up, that whatever happened earlier in the evening was successful. I mean, we know at the end that attempt was successful on all of them, but I don't believe that she woke back up, or at least not fully, on the ride from Saratoga Trail to Survey 319, which is just so tragic to think about. I know. Now, let's see. Tina says, hi, Tina, how are you doing? I believe Bella was gifted. I do too. And had been picking up on her dad's true feelings. You can see it in her face at times. Children can pick up and see things we can't. I absolutely believe that. And I believe that Bella was very expressive, and her expression was very reflective of how she really felt all the time, right? And that's why, you know, when I did like the series on, you know, the changes we see in Bella from when she was a joyful, sweet little baby. I mean, she was always sweet, to when as she was getting older and she became very pensive and serious and didn't seem to have any joy in her at all, because Bella is so expressive. And I feel like you can take it for, you know, what you see is what you get with her, right? I think that's why she's kind of an easy read in that regard, you know. So sad. Let me just grab a couple other comments here. And welcome to everybody who's coming in. Come on in. We're glad you're here. Please click like so more of our friends keep getting the notification. So Sherry K says, and I agree with this, Sherry. Melinda, I think that Cece had brain damage, but Bella was alive and alert. That's exactly what I think. Bella was alive and alert, to finish her sentence there. So sad. Yes. Media, the creative agency, welcome back. Saw you last night. Glad you're back again. Says, partly why Chris Watts thought he needed to continue with his plan. It was because Cece was nearly gone and Bella was a witness and aware. I totally agree with that too. Thanks, Joan. You're so sweet. Let's see. All the empanadas, hello. Hi, Howie. How are you doing? Yeah, I can't think of one. Echoes kind of what we were talking about when Sherilyn Cadle in her book said that Bella woke up and didn't have all of her faculties. That always haunted me. I think she said that about Cece, right? I think. I could be wrong, but I think she said that about Cece. And I think that what was said about Bella, and Chris said this too, was that she had like bruising around her eye. You know, like, why would that have happened if he didn't do anything to them earlier in the night? This is a tough one, but I'm going to read it. Howie says, they all had sludge in their stomach, digestive tracts. That doesn't just happen in the decomposition process. Now, I always feel like when it comes to statements like this or questions like this and the autopsies, I don't really go there because I'm aware of how wildly underqualified I am to assess anything having to do with autopsies. But I've heard a lot of people say things like what was found in the autopsies did not match the stories told, right? Yeah, media saying same thing. Yeah. Terrible, disgusting, horrific, almost unimaginable. Oh, of course, it's Sis saying that. Great comment. I almost hope they were both alive. And God, what a gross dichotomy, but how horrific. If poor Bella was sitting back there with the state of SW, and the same for little Cece. My gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Sarah says, Kelly, there's really no mention of Cece on the drive, and we know she was a live wire. That's exactly it. You know, Chris is saying, oh, like they were sleepy. And, you know, we have definitely seen Cece being really sleepy, but once that kid is awake, she is on the go. So, you know, the fact that she wasn't chatting it up, I mean, the investigators asked him point blank, you know, did they say anything on the ride to Survey 319? And he just mentions that Bella says, Daddy, it smells. That's the only words that he mentioned from either of his daughters. That entire 50-minute drive from 2825 Saratoga Trail to Survey 319. And I could believe that Bella would have clammed up like that, especially being as horrified and nervous as she was. So hard to think about, but I don't think for a second Cece would have been quiet that entire time, right? Good point. Becky Boo says, yeah, he supposedly drove them there. I personally don't believe it. Who do you think drove them there, Becky Boo? Hi, Veronica. How are you doing, friend? Oh, Betty, I thought of that too. I can't even read that because it's so upsetting. But yeah, I know. Teacup says, oh, the fig in mythology is a symbol of fertility and prosperity. That's crazy. Wow. Oh, so going back, I see now Howie is saying when he was mentioning the sludge in the stomachs, his theory is, I believe that they were both alive even when they went into the tanks. And I believe that other people were involved. So again, trigger warning, obviously. I'm sorry to even talk about this stuff, but these are things that we talk about, and they're you know, and it all goes back, obviously, shame on Chris Watts, clearly, and anyone else who is involved, you know, who I think that is to some degree, but also shame on the investigators and district attorney work, mostly district attorney work, in my opinion, for, as we were talking about last night, allowing Chris to plea, accepting his plea deal without holding him accountable by making him fess up and tell the court and the rest of the world and the families what happened in the final moments of those precious lives. We wouldn't have all these questions if that was done. Such a shame. Bella was protective of Cece, yes. Sis Fisher says, I was obsessed with this case. As we all were, honestly. But after a certain point, it literally put me in such a deep depression. Crazy as true crime aficionado, the only one to upset me so badly. Same. Yeah, same with me. And I think a lot of people feel that way. Do you guys feel that way about this case? similar to what Sis Fisher said. And, you know, I think that that is possibly because obviously the details are horrific. They are horrific of the horrifics. But there are other crimes that we all know about where there are really fucking horrific details. But there's just something, the energy of this case, whether it's paranormal or sinister or what have you, it exists. It's there. I think that we all feel it to some degree. Do you guys think so? Yeah, Sarah, I feel you on that too. Okay, so I'm going to pull into the stream now. It's from a live stream that I did a long time ago, like over 2 years ago. And it's called, well, let's find out. Can't remember what it's called. Chris Watts, pre-arrest, shocking, quiet statement, audio enhanced. But what the thumbnail said was he, well, here, hopefully this is going to be the part where you're going to hear it. Listen carefully. We'll find out. I hope I'm in the right spot. Okay.
Talking. And again, this is before we kind of got to this moment. Anybody that goes to the location.
Okay, so let's go back just a little more even. So Tammy Lee is is asking, just in case you can't hear really well, like, what's up with the oil tanks? You know, is anybody else going to check them? Okay.
I'm not doing that though. I'm not doing that.
I do think you were good at it. I think Shanann was a good mom. You guys were doing everything you could possibly do for those girls. And look at them.
Why didn't you understand? Thanks. I didn't know what else to do with this.
How far down is she?
Oh, no, like this. 2 feet maybe.
How long did it take you to take that?
No.
You might get.
20.
Okay, so Tammy Lee is talking about, you know, where he left Shanann, and she says, how long did it take you to dig that? He says 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, guys, this is a question that's been asked time and time again when people are looking at the.
That's not what I was going for. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see.
The evil that I saw when.
Ah, there it is. Okay. Let me go back a little. Lily, no. Just 1 second. I got to get some plastic away from a bunny or she's going to drive you crazy. No, Lily. No. Come here, Lily. Come here, Lily. Come on, Lily. Lily. She's going to drive me crazy. Get over here, little girl. Come here, baby girl. Come here. Oh, she ran away. Okay. I have bunnies, if you don't know that.
So you weren't thinking that far ahead?
No. Okay. When you were talking, again, this is before we kind of got to this moment today. You mentioned that we were talking. You said, "I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are." And then you said something along the lines of, "Whatever happened to them is acted pure evil." What does that mean? Is this the evil that I saw when I walked behind her and she was on top of CC?
Okay, so yes, and I'm sorry, the audio is a little off. This is, like I said, this is a video, a live stream I did like 2.5 years ago, and nothing was like up to speed then because I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I really know what I was doing. So Graham Coder just said, oh, I don't want to misquote him. Let's listen to that one more time. And I'm sorry, the audio is so bad. We're just listening to this for a moment.
So how are you going to avoid that? Or the you that does that?
Anybody that goes to the location.
How often is that done? If those tanks are checked?
If they're getting enough oil, a week.
So do you want someone to find them?
I know what else needs me. That's the location I was going out to that morning.
I know.
And that's, I didn't know what else to do.
So you weren't thinking that far ahead?
No. Yesterday when you were talking, again, this is before we kind of got to this moment today, you mentioned that we were talking, you said, I don't know where they are, I don't know where they are, and then you said something along the lines of, whatever happened to them is act of pure evil. What does that mean? That's all. I'll walk behind you and she'll talk.
So he says, you said whatever was done to them was an act of pure evil. And he says, it's the evil that I saw when I walked behind Shanann and she was on top of Cece. Now, this is just one of the instances, where Chris Watts talks about, evil or, this feeling of being out of control as though he's possessed. Like in his Dodge Correctional Facility interview where he says, it's as though somebody's arms were around me. They're from behind and, like they were controlling my hands and I never know what to make of that. And I go two ways on that. Number one is, well, I actually go three ways on that. Number one would be that he's just trying to absolve himself of any kind of guilt. So he's blaming it on anyone, including invisible imaginary forces. Okay. Number two is that he's really wanting to talk about an actual person either influencing him so strongly or being there physically to the point where he had no choice of his own. He was not doing things on his own volition in his own mind. And of course, to me, that would be NK, and to some of you, that would be NK and others. Or, is he describing something that he himself doesn't really understand? And could that thing that he really does not understand be something of a supernatural nature? So what do you guys think about that? When Chris Watts says all of those things in the interview from the prison, about it's like, I didn't want to do it, but, I already had it in my mind or it was already underway and I just couldn't stop it. It's like someone's arms are around me, like their arms were around me and their hands were like, I don't remember exactly what he said, which I can't believe because I've listened to it so many times. What do you guys make of that? And by the way, thank you so much for the super chat. Sherry, you are such a sweetheart. Thank you so much. I got your email too, and I'm going to email you back. I just got a little bit before the live stream. And also, Jamie, welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you guys very much. Space says, I agree with the possession theory. Oh, yeah. And I do have there is another copy of this video, you silly gooses. But do you know how many videos I have back there, like queued up and waiting to go, and then to go search out another one and find it and play and da-da-da. It's just craziness. So just a couple minutes of crappy audio we can deal with. Amanda says, I don't believe he was possessed. I could see maybe that he has really checked out of his life and become emotionless with his family. And when he finally felt rage, it may have felt overwhelming. That's very possible. Both 1 and 2, I believe, Jennifer said. Okay. Beardface says, I believe there were dark forces at work. And after this live stream, I have a couple other videos I'm working on that are going to be along the lines of this same topic because you guys have had a lot of interest in it. And I haven't done a lot of material on it. I'm interested in it too. I've just been a little scared too. And I'm going to tell you about my supernatural Watts story in a little bit. It's to this day, it haunts me. And I've had more, but this one was just like the humdinger. Betty says, I definitely believe in things that we don't understand. Patricia says he's trying to distance himself from the evil act he committed. Wendy L says, I definitely believe in evil. Watch true crime all the time, but to me, it's the only thing that makes sense. It doesn't absolve him of crimes. You mean evil? Like something evil came over him or possessed him or... Black Cadillac says 15-week pregnant women are barely showing and it does not restrict movement. I'm going to say, and ladies, tell me if you're with me, it really depends on the person. And it depends on which pregnancy you're at too. A lot of times people who it's their first pregnancy, they won't show until later on because those muscles haven't been, kind of like stretched like that before. It just really depends on the person. And I have a friend who, when I didn't even know she was pregnant yet. She told me very early on, I don't remember exactly when. And as soon as I looked at her, I knew she was pregnant because I could see her belly. It was absolutely in the first trimester. She's probably about Shanann's size too. We kind of touched on this yesterday. Sweet Crazy says, if he was really sleeping in the basement, why would she think that there was a problem only after he got to North Carolina? He basically admitted in his interview, and we listened to this yesterday, that he says that they were sleeping apart when they were in North Carolina. I don't think they were sleeping apart before she went to North Carolina, because remember, Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts, according to their timeline, which I don't totally believe, but they say that the first time they were together was the night of June 26th, which was the night when Shanann and the girls with Shanann's dad flew out to North Carolina. I don't think that there was a problem before Nicole Kessinger, and he says as much. I mean, there was, but I don't think he knew it, right? Marina says, each of my pregnancies were different. Yeah. Wendy is saying correct, and he had to let evil in. And how do you think he let that evil in? Do you think that was due to Nicole Kessinger? I know a lot of people think it was due to Nicole Kessinger and her dabbling in the darkness, so to speak. And Uplift Mobile Fitness. Is that a company you have? That's cool. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. It says good work. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And welcome. I'm glad you're here. Diabolical energy. That's what I fear. Ooh, Deb S said, I always showed right away when pregnant. Sis says, I had zero belly until I was 6 months. So Black Cadillac, you see. We're drilling home the point now. It depends on the person, I think. But hi, Anaphylaxis. It's great to see you. Ooh. Ah, my ear had like this crazy, like I don't know, like zing in it. It was weird. Okay. Anyway. It's a diabolical energy. No, I hope it's not the diabolical energy in my ear. Good Lord, get out. Diabolical energy. Old Scrappy says, welcome, Old Scrappy. How are you? Says, demons are real. Jesus warned us to be aware of their influence. That is true, isn't it? Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. He's not very bright. And he tells them that he has an IQ of like 140. I've told this before, and to my professional capacity, I I've administered, well, depending on what it is, the age of the kid and stuff like that. And there's different IQ tests, but I've administered intelligence tests to young people. And you kind of get an idea of where people fall after you've done a few tests or enough tests. You know what I mean? And there ain't no way. I know people who have a 140 IQ and they ain't Chris Watts. I'm going to tell you that right now. I mean, you can have a IQ much lower than 140 and still be pretty sharp. That's a very good IQ, very high IQ percentile wise. Huh? And Christina says, yes, the evil comes from NK's following, that all-star Crowley stuff. I've been looking into that a little bit. Still not ready to really speak on it because I like to get really knowledgeable about something before I talk about it, but it's weird, that's for sure. Oh, her face totally changes in the interview room. I have done a couple of videos where she looks freaking evil. Yeah, I fully agree with that. Unless it's just a crappy camera, it's almost like there's something going through her, passing through her. I feel you on that. And her eyes change. Yep. Sherry, Chris is dumb. He is. Obviously. Ugh. Okay, so now I'm going to switch gears a little bit. I'm going to bring something different into the stream. So this is from the channel that I was playing a little bit of towards the beginning, and I think this is pretty interesting. I had seen something like this before. I don't know if it was from the same creator or not. Honestly, let me know if you have seen this before and what you think. Yep. Okay. All right. We'll just start here.
Bradford Police Department, anybody in the house?
Are you kidding? There's a heat signature on the window. Like if something's behind the window. Or in front of it. Just watching there. Look at that. I am literally getting a heat signature right in front of that window. Like someone's sitting there. Now it's more than ever. I've never seen it so clear before.
That's a good point, McJay.
Look at that. There is a legit.
Let me pause that for a minute. McJay just said, and thank you, McJay. You're so on top of it. Thank you to all the moderators. YouTube can strike me for using words that may refer to religious or spiritual groups. That is true. There's a whole, well, not a whole slew, but there's several new restriction rules with YouTube. I think a lot of it honestly has to go with has to do with what's going on with Israel and Palestine. But we don't want to go there at all. But that's what it seems like it's stemming from to me. So we do have to be careful with that. And thank you so much for saying so, McJay.
What is up with that? No, I know, Tom, but I won't. I have nothing to hide. I'm not doing anything wrong. Look at that. Look at the window. Look at the window. Yeah, you're right. I'm waiting for it to clear. There. Bam. Oh my God. That is insane.
And now I picked this person in particular because I tend to find his.
So right now, this video footage is only just so I could get a high definition footage.
I tend to find his material to be like not over exaggerated. I don't like roll my eyes when I watch and go, oh my God, here we go again. Because as I told you, I'm not super into the paranormal and things like this. I mean, I do believe that energies are out there and exist. I don't know exactly what. It's way beyond my understanding. But I just find him to be good, incredible. And I'm going to link this video and his channel in the description. And thank you for letting me use it, sir.
Footage. I'm going to be recording with a different camera on my thermal imaging because unfortunately I can't take the videos off of it. So this is just to show you that both windows are open. That's the window that I was seeing.
Well, look at that, Muck Boy.
Weird movement from. I don't know if you guys can see anything. At this point now, I don't see anything. But when I switch on the thermal imaging, all that might change. And apparently these two rooms, what I just read online, was the two little girls' rooms. Looks to be something peering out from the second floor window. I'm looking through all the other rooms. Let's look down. See if I can lower the intensity here. There we go. And there is something standing on the second floor room here. Oh, it just moved. Look, it looks like a head and something holding its hand on the window. What the hell is that? Again, I'm only doing this so that way you guys could have... Oh, it just moved. A clear, high-quality video so you can see better than on a live stream. I did leave the teddy bear here only because I was kind of up to date with what was going on, and this is such a sad story. But
Sorry to interrupt this really quick, but I just want you guys to see this. Ashley, I'm sorry, who said that? Ashley Victoria. Hi, Ashley. Said she didn't get notification. I've heard that a lot from people. I've heard other creators say that as well. I send out an email a few hours or sometimes the day before I do live stream. So if anyone would like to be added to that email list, I won't email you for any other reason, I promise. I blind copy all of the emails so nobody will get your email. You can email me at wattsobsession, just wattsobsession at gmail.com. I'll add you to the list and then you'll get an email when live streams are coming up.
on the live stream, someone asked me about you. Look, I just got movement again. Someone asked me if I could use a thermal imaging camera, and so I did. No, I'm going to switch. I'm going to go ahead and switch the imaging into a different image to see what it looks like on a thermal imaging instead of this color. Give me 1 second. All right, so now I switched it to fully infrared. And what was weird about this one is that I wanted to see if I could still see it. But on the front door, it looks like somebody was staring at me. Look at the top floor there. As you can see, that looks like the warmest window, and there it is. It looks... I'm going to keep as still as I can. What the hell is that? What is that? Does that look like someone with their head in their hand holding against the window? Look, and now it's changing. There it goes. Oh, it moved. What the hell am I seeing?
Wait, I'm just pausing it for a minute so I can get you guys the channel here. I can't remember it. I'm sorry. It's FRANKO TV. Okay, so it's just FRANKO TV. I'll put in the chat, but then I'll link his channel in the description. Okay.
Again, this is coming straight from an infrared perspective. Look, it looks like somebody else just came in on the far left. Oh, my arm is getting tired. Oh, whoa. Look. That is so creepy. It looks... I'm not even going to tell you what it looks like. You guys...
Oh.
I'll leave that up to you guys. But oh my God.
Uh-huh.
All right, so right now I am back on night vision. Again, you don't see anything on the top window. In fact, you could see something there. But I don't know if that's just a glare of whatever's there. This was not supposed to be even a video. It was just a place that I came to visit. However, what I saw on the thermal I thought would be interesting to show you guys. I did came here to drop off a bear. And I actually put the bear over here because this is like a little memorial here. Over there, as you can see, that looks like the warmest window, and there it is. It looks... I'm going to keep as still as I can. What is that? Does that look like someone with their head in their hand holding against the window? Look, and now it's changing. There it goes. Oh, it moved. Oh, it moved. What the hell am I seeing? Again, this is coming straight from an infrared perspective. Look, it looks like somebody else just came in On the far left.
So I just want to see this comment. So let's see. Ash K, how are you doing? Ash K said that then they died in the house. Well, I mean, my understanding is, and of course with these kind of things, what I'm about to say, I guess it is dependent upon your belief. I mean, there is some scientific proof of different energies and whatnot existing. Like I said, I'm not the super believer, but I do believe. But is it to say that it is energy of those beautiful lost souls that died on August 13th, or could it be a different kind of energy, right? Like a lot of people have talked about there being the possibility there being demonic energy in the house. It is said, and again, all I can say is that it is said that demonic energy will present itself in the form of something, you know, gentle and sweet and, you know, appealing to attract those that it wants to attract, right? So I just wanted to just kind of add that to the conversation. So there we go. That was Franco TV. And some of you in chat said that you're subscribed to his channel. Just lots of good things about Franco TV. So guys, definitely go check him out. Let him know Watch the Obsession sent you over. And yeah, I think he does. Yeah, and again, I chose him because he's not like over the top. Like I said, I'm not like rolling my eyes like, oh Jesus, here we go again. So yeah. Whoa. All right, let me just bring that down for a second, and I'm going to bring something else into the stream. Just got to go grab it because I can only have so many tabs open or I confuse myself. Welcome to people who just came here. I'm glad you guys are here. Come on in, get comfortable. It's a really nice chat. Thank you guys in chat for being awesome. And thank you, moderators. You're amazing. All right. See, I want to play the video that I took some clips of for my upcoming video, but let's do this one. So these are EVPs that were heard during the canine search. Okay. We're going to start with the one we heard before, but may as well hear it again. Sometimes you hear something different. And this channel is, and again, I'll put in the description, Ghost Writers Paranormal. It's a rather small channel, 10.5 thousand subscribers. Definitely go check him out. And again, please tell him we sent you over. All right. Let's see. Hey, Jesse Essex, how are you? I always have to stop and then pronounce your name, like, you know, intentionally. How's it going? Nice to see you. Okay.
Mark this first one. Here it is. This is the one everyone heard. Now this is the loudest of them all. I didn't have to use the denoise filter for this one, but it sounds like a little girl giggling when the dog goes in.
Now, I do want to say all these different EVPs that we're hearing in any video I'm playing, I did go to check the What I have is the body cam footage that I got directly from Discovery from Colorado, and it all checked out. So, you know, I wouldn't play anything without checking it out first. So these are not things that were added. Like in the instance of this channel, whew, damn, that was really loud. I didn't mean to press play. You know, he adjusts the audio levels so you could hear things more clearly, which is a totally legitimate thing to do. I'm not, well, I play around with that sometimes, but he's much better at it. So let's take a listen.
So there's Tanya first into the field.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What in the world was that? Wow. Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that
See, it was pretty freaked
Yeah,
out.
it sounded like a kid toy.
It might.
Nothing made that noise when they went in there. But listen again.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Part that I noticed is as soon as the noise happens, look what the dog is doing. It's looking in the mirror. It's looking at itself in the mirror. You can see the dog's reflection. Now, I'm pretty certain, and I've heard others say it, that mirrors are almost like portals. But because I'm finding other weird things with mirrors, but the dog is looking in the mirror. It's not moving around. It's not touching anything. It's just looking in the mirror and then a giggle.
Oh my gosh.
Still looking at it. It didn't move.
Oh my gosh. What in the world was that? Wow.
That dog saw something in that mirror. Straight up. Now, I've got a lot of these marks. Not sure what some of them are. Started like annotating some. Some of these, first I'm going to tell you, you're going to need headphones. Okay, if you want to hear these. Some are
I can hear him without.
straight up just pure EVP voices. Some of them are noises, sounds that sound like birds. You'll see what I'm talking about. But some of them are just bone chilling. Now, this female officer is in the laundry room. She's going through stuff. And a male voice says, motherfucker.
Ugh.
Now you can go back in the normal video.
That one really freaks me out.
It's like 18 minutes, 31 seconds in. Some of these others you'll be able to hear when you listen back to the original video if you listen really hard. Because like I said, I'm using it's a filter called X noise. Basically, when I'm listening to a sound like this, you hit listen. You get that bass line and you can raise and hear behind it. So, okay, so here's some of the others. I don't want to make this a very long video. If it turns out being longer, I will put timelines of when things are said to make it easier for you. Now, this one to me is one of the saddest. It's really hard to hear. But for some reason, last night when I was first going over this audio, I heard it clear as day. I hear you need to help me. Why don't you? Now listen really good, please. You
Mm.
need to help me. Why don't you?
What I hear there is, whoops, let me
That's
get to it.
crazy.
You need to help me, bless you. That's what I hear there. I listened to it like many times. I hear the EVP saying, you need to help me, bless you. Which I don't know if that makes sense, but that's like really what I hear.
Let's see.
There's something they're not. There's something they're not.
Yeah, this, I don't know if it's the dog making a noise.
Synthwise. Yeah, no, there's something they're not. There's something they're not. There's something they're not.
And I think there was toys in that closet too, so it could have been a toy. Here, something says, "Who is that?"
What is this? What is this place like an egg?
Or what is that?
What is this place like an egg, isn't it? Yes.
And then that lady says, "Well, this place is like a maze, isn't it?"
What is this place like an egg, isn't it? Yes. Lots of Jack and Jill going on.
This, I don't know if it's the officer's radio or if it's an AVP, but I'll play it for you.
Copy, great. 1985 dispatch. Copy, great.
So that's why I'm not sure, because I don't know why someone would be saying there's an officer. But I don't know. To me, this sounds like it says they're going to scare Chris.
Then they're scared Chris.
Children in it.
Then they're scared Chris.
Children in it.
First. Because the fan's running in Then they're scared Chris.
Children in it.
It's almost like that, and I've had this happen to me. It's almost like she is talking, but it's using her vocal tone or whatever to say the wrong thing. Because when it's done saying they're going to scare Chris, it's like she's finishing some sentence. The sentence makes no sense. They're going to scare Chris, and then something.
Then they're scared Chris.
Children in it.
First. Because the fan's running in
Can you hear that? Is his girlfriend really bad or something bad? And right here, I think what is going on, we can hear the prison. And it sounds like for the rest of, I think that we're only capturing pieces of what they are saying on the other side. I'm guessing they're probably saying, I hope that he goes to prison for the rest of his life. I hope that he goes to prison for the rest of his life. But, I mean, I love him.
Let's just do a search of this.
Dig me up. Of course, now we know she was buried.
And a whole bunch of paint cans. So I'm pretty confident it would not be a body or parts.
You hear that? It says, "Let me tell them."
I hear that one. That one freaks me out. Oh.
I mean, we're going to end it on a positive note because
That one freaks me out every time I hear it. Let me tell them. I don't know. It just does. I don't know. I don't know why it just does.
one of the last EVPs definitely rings home that they are on the other side and they are fine. Okay?
So we figure the house is clear at this point.
But right here, I hear, go back up there and watch your sister.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's a lot of people seen at the first of the video when they first walk in, shows the staircase on the left. You may have seen it if you're watching this video. A lot of people think they see the little girl, but I hear, go up there and watch your sister. Go back up there, I think. Then Bella won't play.
Oh. Mm.
Let's see. That's legit what I hear. And at this point, it's only this officer and the male dude with the K9. And you can hear, go back up there, watch your sister. And Bella won't play. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, here's the part, the area where the truck was backed in and they were removed from the house. I can just see Shanann standing right here and hear Bella or Celeste being like right here trying to come in. She's like, oh, get back up there and watch your sister. So they're still in the house. I believe they're fine. They just, of course, they wanted their bodies found. Nobody wants to be separated in death. I mean, obviously they're not. I don't know if that was his goal of putting them in different locations. Because, I mean, seriously, what's up with that? You put one in one tank, one in another tank, and 100 yards out in the field. I mean, that's like almost a slap in the face upon what he did. Let's see. I think. Oh yeah.
We go double check with other team, but it doesn't sound like it.
I have no idea what that is, but it sounds like a female saying, "Hold it, hold it."
We go double check with other team, but it doesn't sound like it.
Oh yeah, that's the only EVP I heard. I think when they're watching that in front of the officer.
This is him at 517. 17. 17.
So, what do you guys think? Do you think that these are the voices of Shanann, Celeste, and Bella? Do you want to think that? That way they're not just gone forever. I mean, it's comforting to me to know that there's still a cognitive part of us that carries on. And trust me, I've done a lot of research and I have found out that is the case. So, no matter what your religion is, what your belief is, trust me, when we die, there's more. And this Chris Watts, I don't know if he was like, if he's just dumb, if he was almost possessed, if he has mental issues, but I mean, he seems so normal. If you watch home videos of them together and stuff, he just seems like a normal guy. I think that's what's freaked a lot of people out because now we're looking at the people in their lives like, is this person really capable of doing things like that? But anyways, I'm glad he got what he deserved. Some people say that he should have got the death penalty, but he didn't. Shanann's family did not want the death penalty on the table. I mean, if you think about it, death penalty would have been an easy way out. You know, he would have been punished and that'd been it. I mean, there's a far worse punishment waiting for him. But yeah, let's let him think about what he's done.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching.
Okay, so who is this
Let me know what
again?
you think about the recordings and about the case. Did it rock you to the core like it did me? I mean, I've been just looking for any information I could find. I watched the whole, what do you call it? Where there was lie detector test and the questioning and stuff. I mean, they went.
Okay, so that's Ghost Rider Paranormal, guys. Go check Ghost Rider Paranormal out. This is from 5 years ago. Let's see, does he still do content? We're gonna find out.
What is good in the hood? Yo, listen. Ghost Riders Paranormal Bogey back with another
looks
video.
a little bit.
And I reached out to Gabby Petit.
So again, I chose to feature his video on here because just like FRANKO TV, I don't find him to be over the top. I don't feel like he's bullshitting. I checked what I believe to be the original audio that I got straight from the digital discovery files against what he did. There's nothing added. He just, adjusts the audio levels, which is a totally legitimate thing to do, as I said. And so that's why I chose to use his rather than the other millions of videos that are out there. So pretty crazy, right, guys? Now, I'm just going to play a little bit of the video from September when, the September lady incident. So the September lady incident, goes something like this. Actually, here, I've got a little thing to read so I can get it all right. Just give me 1 second. Chat amongst yourselves, folks. Chat amongst yourselves. Do. All right. Come on in if you're just getting here. So glad you guys are here, and I hope everyone's having I don't know what kind of, I was going to say good time. Is this a good time? I don't know what this is. But yeah, y'all okay? It is scary, right? It's scary. It's creepy, for sure. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, and then I have some more. The video I have coming out, there's more EVPs. There's the couple that that the two that really get me is when they are, again, it's well, I think is it the dog handler and the Jane and the female officer, when they go into the master bedroom and you hear, "This is our home." That one is clear as day. A lot of people have heard it right from the beginning. And then also when they're in the laundry room and you hear, "I'm with Cece." It's just so freaking wild. Oh my God. All right. Okay. Let me just get to this little write-up I have here. Okay. All right. Let's see. While I'm doing that, let me just bring some of that into the stream so you have something to look at as well, other than the pulsating circle that is me, but not me. And then I'm going to tell you my story. And it relates a little bit to the September lady story in my mind. So that's why I'm doing it in this order. Okay, so as you're watching this, I'm just going to read you some background on this. Over a month after Shanann Watts and her 2 young daughters were murdered, police responded to a report of suspicious activity at Frederick, Colorado home, where neighbors saw a woman approach the house via video surveillance, but never saw her leave. The discovery document released by the Weld County District Attorney's Office and shared by the Denver Post includes a police report of an incident on September 21st. Interesting, because that's the fall equinox, right? The I can't say anyway. The fall equinox is fine, in which a woman believed to be. That's interesting. It's a fall equinox, so that would be like a high activity time. I never realized that before. Just now, interesting. A woman believed to be Shanann Watts' mother called the police to report she'd received a text message from an unknown number, advising her that the back door at her deceased daughter's home was open. 2 Frederick police officers were dispatched to the home and saw that the screen covering the back door was slid open, but the door behind it was closed. The report states that the officers observed the home from multiple angles and did not see any sign of disruption or indication that a person had entered the home. The report notes that upon leaving the home, an officer observed that a garage light was on, and it had not been on when the officers arrived. Interesting. So they note when they're leaving, there's a garage light on that was not on when they arrived. Weird, right? The officers left the home, but were called back later that same evening. So the footage we're going to be watching is the second time they were there that day for 2 different suspicious incidents. The report states that dispatch contacted one of the responding officers again after Shanann's father had called the police after being contacted by a neighbor who said the garage lights were still on and they had not been in the past. Joined by additional officers, Frederick police returned to the home and spoke to that neighbor, Nate, of course, who reiterated concerns about the garage light being on and also a video that he shared with police that was taken from his home or on his home. Gotta flip the page. Surveillance system. Sorry, it's kind of skipping here. Got one spot. The officer says he was able to show me from his video from his Xfinity home security system on his phone. He showed me that a female walked up to the house at about 900 hours and was seen walking up to the front door. There is no video of the female leaving the house or the area. Shortly after, there is a black SUV that is seen passing the house slowly. Nate was able to show me 3 different videos showing the black SUV going slow by the house shortly after the female was seen walking to the front door. So 3 passes, I guess. I did not see anyone leave the vehicle and approach the house, and did not see anyone come from the house to get into the vehicle. Shanann's father reportedly gave the officers a security code to the home and asked them to go inside and check for any signs of activity. The officers searched the home and did not see any signs that a person was there or had been there. The officer wrote the report and noted that the garage alarm went off when he pushed on the garage. He notified Shanann's father of this, and her father said that he did not believe the alarm had been set when he last visited the home. The officer said in the report that the neighbor had been advised to contact the police if he saw any further activity at or near the home. The disappearance and murders of Shanann Watts and her daughters Bella and Celeste have attracted intense media coverage. After initially denying to detectives that he, this is just background on the case. I thought there was something more here that I want to read to you. Let me just check really quick. Let's see. Body cam footage clips of the house search from the calls show a dark-haired woman being seen on the camera entering but never leaving the Watts home on September 21st. It's very obvious the officers are nervous and freaked out by the call and seeing the girl on camera themselves, the person walking into the home. Yet, they cannot find anyone at all, and there are no signs of anyone ever being there. So here we go. And anaphylaxis, I know last time we watched this, you had some interesting things to say, because anaphylaxis is a retired law enforcement professional and is wonderful and one of our moderators. So if you have anything to say, that would be great. And Keith, I know that there's a point where you want to stop and look at like the image you can see in the chair. So that would be cool. Let's do that too. Interesting. Okay, I'd only ever seen it in black and white before. This video, let me give credit to, is from the channel Footsteps of Murder, which I like very much. I know a lot of you do too. And somehow she has attributed some color to this. Do you want to watch a color or black and white, guys? Let me know, because I can get black and white if you want to watch black and white, which is like the original footage. Interesting. I didn't realize that she had done that. Let me just hop back to chat, and you guys can let me know which version of this you'd like to watch. Color. I got one for color. Of course, it'd be during the fall equinox with NK involved. Very funny. Very interesting comment. Yeah, right? So eerie in there, yeah. Huh. Wasn't the cabinet door open in the master bathroom? I believe it was, yes. I was thinking that when I just read that. Well, hey, if you see it, just speak up, Muck Boys, and let us know, okay? Color, you want to see color? Okay. Okay, let's do it then. Here we go. You guys know, or maybe you know if you were here last time we watched it, this footage freaks me the F out. I cannot watch it by myself at night. I have a hard time watching it. I have a hard time watching it. And then I'm going to show you the crazy picture I captured from, oh God, there's just so much. Okay. One thing at a time, Cal. Let's do it.
You got an open closet over there.
I got you long.
Slow and steady, guys.
Okay. Coming out.
Pushing up to you, Chris.
Nothing.
Chelsea, I'm coming into your hallway. Copy. Still got that bathroom? Yep. On the top side. Copy. Opening a connecting door. Clear. All right. Connecting door. Closet, I'm coming behind it. Clear, I'm coming out.
Okay. Did you guys get this closet?
Nope. Yeah,
Ready?
that's the basement, I think. Let's clear the garage. Cooksy, hold where you're at. We'll come out to the garage. Frederick Police Department, anybody in the garage? Frederick Police Department, make yourself known.
Coming out, quick.
There's no way to get in like in the top or anything.
I don't see any access. No access points.
Is it sealed off from the top on that side? Yeah. Never mind.
Here. Come back in.
Coming out.
Coming out. Garage lights are off. Cooksy coming back towards you.
Look coming out. Okay. I'll pull the door once you guys are ready. You want to make that up? Okay. Go.
Frederick Police Department, anybody in the basement? Frederick Police Department, make yourself known. Frederick Police Department, anybody down here?
What's that? That might be sticky. Sure. Blue coming out.
Oh wait, there. Wait. I'm sorry. I was looking for a picture. I have to show you guys. It's pretty important. It was like 4 minutes ago. Betty said there it was. Did I miss whatever it was we were looking for? I'm sorry, guys. You said there it was, right? There it was. There was what? Should I go back there? Oh, the lighting. Oh, the light. The light all the way to the right flashed. Let me just see here. I don't know, because this is how I felt it. Still in the dining room. Turn on the light in the dining room. I want to watch this dining. I'm going to go back a couple minutes. I'm sorry, guys. I want to watch this dining room part 2. I'm going to be watching chat now too. So if I should stop at anything or whatever, or if you want to make us aware of something, let us know. Well, let me just show you this picture I was looking for, and then we'll go back to this because it has to do with the dining room there. So, and then we're going to go right back to this, and then I'm going to tell you my story. So, share. Some of you have seen this picture before. So, I was making a video. I'm not sure what I was doing, but I was just going through, some of the well, let me show you the picture and I'll explain. Okay, so there's one. So this is simply a screenshot from the body cam footage that was, one of the first body cam footages during the day of August 13th, shortly after Shanann, Bella, and Cece had passed away. So there's like 2 views of it. And, I had taken a whole bunch of screenshots for whatever reason. I don't even remember what the intention was, to be honest, guys. I just had a bunch of screenshots. And among all of these screenshots of, the living room and the kitchen, it really struck me as I was looking through them because I could see this image right here. So let's see. It looks like a cross with a rounded top too. Yeah. So I just want to see what you guys see before I say anything. You said SW is telling everyone to get out of the house. Yeah. So it's just really weird. So obviously it looks like the image of a cross, right? And there were all these pictures, and there were pictures, kind of like looking in this direction, at, the sliding glass door, just like this. And it was just these 2 pictures right in a row, this one, and then this one. I go up a little because it's a little closer up, where you could very clearly see this cross. Now, again, this was just hours after these poor souls had passed. So then when, this footage of the police officers now going through this house after the September lady incident or whatever happened has always just freaked me the fuck out. Like, I have a really, really, really difficult time watching it. I've never known why. And then Muck Boys and some other people pointed out that at certain points you can like see something going on, like an image in the dining room chair, blah, 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 whatever have you. So I don't know exactly. I still haven't really put all the pieces together. Why it freaks me out so much. Why, but I just wanted to share this with you. Across, what is that in the drapes? I'll tell you in a second what it is. Wow, it could be a church window, right? That's what it looks like. Oh, it's on Good Friday, right? Yeah, my goodness. Known as the, what is it known as? What does that mean? I'm not familiar with that. ANKH. That's what this is? Symbol. Okay. Oh, okay. However you say that, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it, is an ancient Egyptian symbol which symbolizes the many aspects of life, including physical life, eternal life, immortality, death, and reincarnation. Holy shit. Wow. The symbol is a teardrop-shaped hoop with a cross connected directly below it to represent the sun making its path upward and over the horizon. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. It represents eternal life in the ancient Egypt. Wow, that's wild. Wow. I click back over to you guys here. See what you're saying. Oh, I remember that cross now. I forgot completely. Yeah, I forgot about it too, actually, until Justice A through Z reminded me of it. during the last live stream we were doing along these lines. Yeah, this is during the first body cam footage, right after the police, Coonrod showed up to the house. Thank you for letting me know what that is. Yeah. Yeah. The garage light is what gets me. It is weird, right? Aw, she looks like your granddaughter. Aw. Her joy to the heart and the happy and love thump that the Watts babies give. Aw, Bella is so precious. I have such a soft spot for Bella, as you guys all know. Hard goosebumps, right? Yeah. It's not the Holy Cross, trust me. Kelly, it freaks you out because it's freaky. Right. I guess maybe that's it, right? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, Kimmy says, keep all demons away from chat and Kelly in Jesus' name. Thank you. My God. Yeah. Actually, after the story I'm going to tell you, for the first time in my life, I got a crucifix the next day and it's still here on my wall. And I also got a ring cam, a ring to, whatever it's called. I'm like getting tired. I can't think my words. The ring bell camera thing, like the very next day, I was like, F that, man. I'm never going to have an experience like that ever, ever, ever again. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to go back to that footage now. But I just wanted to share that with you guys first because it's in that same spot where, they're looking at in the footage now where apparently some weird stuff happened. So, yeah, just like you just said, it's freaky because it's freaky. Yeah, totally. Oh, freaky. Okay.
Blue coming out. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I didn't go far enough back. There we go. Sorry, this is where I want to go back to this part. I'm sorry, guys. I can only watch it with you guys, honest to God. So this is it for me. Sorry for the crumbling sound. Oh, I see. Okay. Did that just happen? Yeah, okay. I saw it. Let's go back a little bit. Is that, let's see. Let's see if we can debunk that or if not. Let's see. I don't think I went back far enough again. Well,
Frederick Police Department, anybody down here? Frederick Police Department, anybody down here?
hmm. Yeah, I saw that. I think I'm not sure, what just keeps coming to mind for me. I know that anaphylaxis last time we were watching this said, like, with all of the, kind of like different lights and I don't know, some flashlights and different lights, kind of sweeping across and, people looking in different directions that, you kind of get weird shadows and images and things like that. So I was thinking that when I was looking for what you were pointing out and saw it, but I'm not sure. I would have to keep going back and watching that like 5,000 times, which I probably won't do because I'm scared of this footage, but thank you for pointing that out because maybe I will. What do you guys think about that? Wait. Yeah. Yes, I see that. I do. I feel like I can't watch this anymore, but I'm going to keep playing it. You know, I remember Anaphylaxis was also saying last time we went watch this, guys, too, just to keep perspective, is that, you know, or if I don't know if you want to say again, but just that it's, you know, going into a dark house like this, you know, at night, a dark house, like nobody's in there. It's not abandoned house, but an empty house, vacant house or whatever. It's freaking creepy. You know, there's so many like nooks and crannies and corners. And a few of you said there's so many places to hide. I can imagine how creepy it must be. So, you know, it's like I do also sense their nervousness and the heavy breathing and things like that. But how much of that is attributed to something they're sensing? Very well, possibly could be that. Like I feel like I'm sensing something, but you know, I don't know. But if you're there, it's a whole different story. Or is it just that this is a like kind of high anxiety situation for, you know, even people who are trained like law enforcement officers to be in? You know what I mean? Just some perspective. Good night, Anaphylaxis. Thank you so much for being here.
Blue coming out. Yeah.
Okay. We checked out the kitchen cabinets and stuff.
I'm gonna check the top, see if there's a back to the door. Clear.
Coming out to you, Kate.
Look for any like vents like those that are big enough that maybe they open and
Let's go clear upstairs. Frederick Police Department, anybody upstairs?
I've always wondered why they don't turn the lights on as well. There is an answer to that question. I do not remember what it is. I also see that some of you keep bringing up Omar for some reason in chat. I just want to let you know I've been in contact with him. I guess a live we did, he came onto the channel. It was a week ago, just a week ago. So we've been in contact about a lot of things since then. So he's definitely going to be coming on soon and hopefully regularly. So we have a good connection. I think you guys really liked him being on the channel. You know, he's doing a lot of different things, and we've been talking about, you know, some things we're both interested in doing. And I don't know, maybe he'll come on next week. It's my spring break. I'll see if maybe he wants to come on next week. I know you guys really like him. So I just want to let you know that.
Frederick Police Department, anybody upstairs, make yourself known. You guys want to cover me? I'll grab the gate.
I'm
Hold down here.
Nada. Thank you, Saprosa. Sherry says, I sleep with my light on. I don't know if you're being serious or not. I never, ever, ever sleep in complete darkness. I hate it. I cannot sleep in complete darkness. I always have like a dim light or two on nearby. I've always, 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 always been that way.
Frederick Police Department, anybody in there? Frederick Police Department, make yourself known. Copy. Copy.
Now that's actually a good point. Who just said that? Let's see. Lotus Spider 7. I hope I read that. My eyes are getting blurry because I'm tired. Welcome. How are you doing? Says they probably keep the lights off so they can blind the person they're trying to find with their flashlights to give them an advantage. Okay, right. So if the law enforcement is using their flashlights and the rest of the house is dark, that's going to give them a clear advantage, and a clear advantage collectively since they all have sources of light and weapons. If they just turn the lights on, then the intruder, if there was one, would have the same level of visibility as them, and that would be again an advantage for the intruder. And also when the intruder is in the dark and they're the ones holding they can control where they are illuminating, so they have control. They have two sorts of advantage, if you follow me there. Again, I'm getting a little tired, so my words aren't coming out that easily, but super good point. Thank you. And Ozzy, Jen, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting the channel and for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. NK is an absolute tree nut. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and make it just like it was when we came in. Perez, we're coming down.
Copy.
I'm going to the backyard going. I've been back there a couple times.
Good night, Bubba.
What's that?
Garage lights.
We get the garage lights off? We get the garage lights off? Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Got everybody?
Those two are going out.
Okay, let's go. I'll be the last one out.
I'm gonna kill the lights, it's gonna get dark.
Huh. Interesting. And again, that was Footsteps of Murder who added the color, apparently. That was interesting. So, wow. Yeah. So that was a great point you made, Lotus Spider, about the tactical advantage with not turning the lights on. I totally would not have thought of that. Yeah, really good point. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I thought that I missed you a while back there. Sometimes I don't see them right away, but thank you so much. And I'm glad that you're here and participate in chat. You guys are all awesome. Thank you for being here and contributing to the conversation. Let's see. So there's a crazy cross, or whatever we call this. I don't know how to pronounce the word. So, all right. So here was like my story. I feel like I'm not going to be able to tell it very well because I'm so tired, but I'm going to give it a shot, I think. Hmm. Let's see here. Okay, so when I was studying, well, yes, I was studying. I was in a graduate degree program. I was just finishing it up, and I actually, the story kind of goes far back, and some of you know a little bit of this, some of you may not. So sit down. I got a story. So for part of my like capstone project for my last graduate degree program, the graduate degree, it was on a certain aspects of behavioral therapy and analysis and interhuman in relationships and the way people interact and healthy relationships. There was like a broad range of topics. I had to narrow it down, and I used a couple examples of things we focus on in society. One of them was true crime because I've always loved true crime, and I spoke about the Watts family. I focused on the Watts family. I studied the Watts family. I gave an analysis of them. That's actually I was already had gotten into this case after I wanted nothing to do with this case or hearing about it ever again after I initially heard about it because it's so horrifying and the details are just absolutely, we all know they're terrible, right? So I finally did regain interest in it and decided that it was going to be a good focus family or set of interpersonal relationships and human dynamics, family dynamics for the task I had at hand. And it has to do with the relationship between Chris Watts, Shanann, Nicole Kessinger, his family, and also the relationship with each Chris and Shanann and their children. I'm not going to go into detail about it because it's going to be very controversial, and that is besides the point right now. So anyway, I had started this channel, and I had noticed that when I was getting really creeped out again by the details of this case, similar to the way that I felt about it when I initially heard about it, and was like, I have been into true crime my entire life. I love to investigate into these cases, do deep dives, just, probably many of you have, sit home and read about them or watch Dateline or whatever the case may be. I just had a psychological fascination with it all. So I started to feel that way about this case as I had in the very beginning. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. But then I also started to have really bad feelings associated with this case when I was doing creating YouTube content about it. And I was just like, I don't know. I was really second guessing my decision to, try to create YouTube videos about it. And when I first started this channel, there was no intention of it becoming anything like it is right now. I had just been so involved in researching this case and the different family and relationship dynamics in this case. I also wanted to learn video editing. I also felt very strongly that there were issues of unresolved justice in this case. So I said, why not bring all of these interests and curiosities together? And I can make a YouTube channel because I saw that people did that about a number of things, and I can talk about it. And when I was researching the Watts case, I came across a lot of material or videos, and I always thought, man, I would love to see that topic covered, but in a different way. And I would kind of think about how I would want to do it. So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna do it. I also had some students that really wanted to learn video editing. They were students with different learning disabilities, but the program that they wanted to go into was not available to them because they all needed one-on-one or one-on-two aids, and they were heartbroken about it. So I figured I would learn video editing. I would teach it to them, and hopefully that would satisfy this loss that they felt because they couldn't go into the program. And it did, so that all worked out fine. Anyhow, I'm getting a little bit off track. So one night I'm sitting here and I'm working on a video. I probably had put out about, I don't know, 10 videos or so at that point. And I was also studying for an exam that I had to take the next day to get the certification that I was looking to get after I finished this grad school program. So I was up really late, and it was about 1 o'clock, and I had just had this really eerie feeling, and I kept feeling as though I was seeing things in the corner of my eye, and like I would, like swing my head around, like look to the left, look to the right, like, I'm going to catch whatever it is. Is it a mouse? Is this? Is it that? Is it something scary? But I never found anything. And this happened a few times, and I started to get a more eerie feeling about it with each time it happened. I was a little freaked out, but I'm telling myself, you're tired. You've been studying true crime way too long. You're nervous about this exam. Just focus, study, get her done, girl. So I was like, okay, I can do that. So it's about 1 o'clock. I'm sitting in my living room where I am right now. My front door is a pretty open space, pretty nearby. And I hear ring, 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 ring at my front door. And I was like, what the actual F? Like, no one comes to my house at 1 in the morning. When I used to live in like Center City, Philadelphia, and I was a little bit younger, people would come by my house at all hours of the night. Somebody knocks or rings, I'd be like, oh, it's probably so-and-so. Why the hell are they waking me up at this hour? Wasn't a big deal. But where I live now, it's a small town. It's a quiet area. I don't have friends that are up and out, going to bars and stuff at all hours of the day and night. So people don't really ring on my door, after like 8 or 9 at night. So it was alarming. So I, very hesitantly, I was like, a little freaked out, got up, started walking towards the door, and I was like, who is it? And then there was just silence for a bit. So I just kind of stood there, like thinking, what do I do? Do I go towards the door? Do I go sit back down? Because, at this point, somebody rings on my door at 1 o'clock in the morning. Under the circumstances I told you, I'm going to be a little on edge, right? So then I don't hear anything. So then I start walking towards the door again. And I'm like, who is it? Nothing. And so I stand there, and then I just hear the doorbell ring, kind of a normal, but a little bit of an extended ring again. Ring, 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 ring. And so I'm like, oh, fuck, what the hell is going on? I was like, now like my heart rate is up. I'm like getting like really like nervous. Like, what is going on? I'm starting to think of all the possibilities. So I go right over to the door, and it's like this eerie silence. Oh, I'm getting creeped out just talking about it. I actually have to move myself away from the door right now because I'm like right by it. And so I'm like standing there at the door, say, who is it? I'm just waiting. It's quiet, seeing if I can hear anything on the other side of the door. But you know how you can just feel that something is there? You don't hear it, you don't see it, but you can just so strongly feel it. Something is there. I had that feeling in an overwhelming way, like almost, I want to say like I never have before. And I think that might be totally accurate. I could absolutely feel that there was something on the other side of the door. But the way the door is, there's like a storm door, and then a very, very, very solid, interior door. And, the storm door didn't open. It didn't creak. My house was built in 1938. It can be very creaky. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't know how, but I guess I'm just going to have to go sit back down, finish my studying and get over this. So just as I started to turn away, away from the door to go back to what I was doing, I hear ring, 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 ring. And I mean, it just like didn't stop. And it just felt so loud, and it didn't stop. It felt like it was just making my ears ring. Like it was like painful, like it was hurting my head. And I don't know if I screamed or I felt like inside my head I screamed because I was so scared. And it just kept going ring, 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 ring. I was telling the story when Omar, the Tilted Lawyer, was on last week, but I didn't tell it. I didn't finish it. I totally didn't finish it. So I'm totally freaked the fuck out. Find my phone. I call for the police, and I was so scared. I couldn't even get the words out. I just can't even describe to you the fear that was like in every cell of my being. I don't know if that sounds like a horrifying thing to happen, but the fear I felt was truly like unlike no other. So I wouldn't even let the person like dispatch get off the phone with me. They're like, okay, well, we'll send someone over. I'm like, no, I'm like, please don't get off the phone with me, you know, and they're kind of like, okay. They weren't like those helpful dispatch operators that you hear, you know, and you hear those 911 calls played on YouTube or whatever. They were kind of like, okay, weirdo. So finally an officer shows up, and there was somebody I think who was maybe training with him, was kind of shadowing, lagging behind him a little, and it really spooked me. And I think that the officer thought I was crazy or whatever. But so anyway, I'm like, he's like, okay, you know, they're like looking around. Then another unit shows up. So they have their flashlights out. They're looking around outside the house. They go to the back door. You know, they're looking for footprints and all this stuff, and they don't find anything. And I'm like, listen, I am so scared. I have this room. I don't really want to describe it now because I feel scared, but I wanted them to close a bunch of windows in a certain area. Okay. So I asked them if they would please come in and shut the windows for me and make sure all of my windows were locked, because I was freaked the fuck out. So they're like, okay, you know, so they came in sort of hesitantly and, you know, locked all the windows that I wanted to lock, looked around everywhere I want them to look, assured me that like everything was fine, while the person I was talking to was, you know, trying to calm me down. The other unit that arrived, I think there was 2 cops there, went and checked across the street from me is, and again, I don't want to say it because I want to give away too much identifying information, because I've had really weird things happen on YouTube aside from this with like real life people. But it was a place that, of course, would have cameras. So they said, we were able to go check those cameras. There's a clear shot of the front of your house, just so you know, like, and with that clear shot of the front of the house, I have like some space between myself and the neighbor on the left and the neighbor on the right. Like my house is on almost an acre total, front, side, and backyard. But you could see that nobody approached my house. Nobody came to the front door. Nobody came around the back. I'm getting so creeped out talking about this right now. Oh my God. Nobody came, approached the house, and went through either of like the sideways where you could get around to the back of the house, or like, you're good. There's like no activity. Don't know what happened. That's just really weird. Maybe it was an electrical issue, which doesn't even make sense. But so they left. So it was about, I don't know. I remember it was 3:36. So, you know, I said it was about 1 o'clock the first time I called them. I don't know exactly what the time was, but I know it was 3:36 when this happened again. So I finally like get myself calmed down. It took me a while to like calm down, to be able to like lay down and even think about going to sleep. Because remember, I had this really important test the next day that I had to pass. I've been studying for forever. So I'm like, you got to go to sleep, got to go to sleep, got to go to sleep. Took a melatonin, was trying to go to sleep, was totally jacked. But finally I started to feel just a little bit drowsy. It was like closing my eyes, feeling like maybe I could fall asleep. And all of a sudden I hear ding, 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 ding. This is my doorbell. That's the noise I'm making now. Again, ringing at my door. Oh my God. I hate telling this story. Oh, it's so late and scary. You know, so obviously I jumped right up. I did scream that time. I grabbed my phone. I ran into where my kid was. You know, I was trying not to wake him up because I didn't want to scare him. And so I called the police back. So they show up again, and they probably were like, what is this woman on crack? What the hell is going on? So again, they check the front, they check the sides, they check the back, they checked all the windows they locked, they checked the doors, they checked it. Like nobody was anywhere to be found. So then they went again and checked the camera footage. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, somebody had to have been at my front door. Like, are you sure you're checking the right time? Like, because somebody rang on my doorbell at least 3 times around 1 a.m. and 1 or 2 of those times they knocked too, at least. And I think there may have been, I can't, I'm sorry. I'm getting so freaked out. I can't finish all the details. But then again, at this later time, you know, and that's when they really thought that I was smoking crack, because the one guy went and checked the camera footage, and then he was talking to me, and the other guy checked, and they both said that there was absolutely nobody near my house, according to that camera that is across the street from me at a place that would have a camera. And, you know, they just left it at that. They're like, so what do you want to, and I was like, what am I going to do? What do I do? They're like, what do you want to do? Write a report? I mean, we can write up a report for you, but nobody was here. Against who? Like, somebody said like the boogeyman or Casper or something. I don't know. I didn't think it was funny or anything. And that, I mean, that was the story. And I feel like when I'm retelling it, it doesn't sound nearly as horrifying as it was. But I was so scared. I literally did not sleep that night. Needless to say, I did not get to go and sit for my test the next day, which caused a whole bunch of problems. And I'm not the kind of person to not, like go and take an exam when I'm scheduled to do so. I'm pretty like focused and on track in that regard, especially when it comes to my career. But I was just an absolute train wreck. So, I mean, I was just shaken to the core. I didn't sleep at night. I didn't sleep during the day the next day. I got a crucifix. I got a ring cam, bell cam, whatever they're called. Got that all set up, took all these like safety measures around my house because I was absolutely freaking out. So then another kind of weird continuation of that story is, and I promise you, it is only when I am working on something that has to do with this case, doing research, making a video. I think it's usually more on the doing research end. And I will hear, I'll be like really into what I'm doing. And I will hear like kind of like faint almost in the distance, but not, I don't even really know how to explain it. Bells, but not like chime bells, like door ringing bells. And I remember the first couple times that happened, I'm like, I'm going out of my fucking mind. But it continued to happen. It continued to happen. It continued to happen. And then it stopped for a while. And then a few months after that, it started happening again. And then I think ever since then, I don't think it ever really stopped. Like it doesn't happen very often, but it still happens sometimes. And it's really very weird. And it's only when I'm working on things having to do with the Watts case. Keep a cross at the door with holy water. Thank you, Elaine. Yeah. And I've never had like any religious anything like on display in my house, but that cross is like, it's like, it ain't going anywhere. And actually my son's godfather, he works in the Catholic Basilica in Philadelphia, and he's, very devout, pious kind of person. And he, has brought over holy water and said prayers and, just all of these things. Yeah, it was crazy. Yes. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you for your support. More wise the answer. You guys are too funny. Tell her to leave in Jesus' name. Yes. Thank you guys. No, I appreciate it. But see, now I feel like fun. I feel like even talking about it, I don't know if talking about it is a good idea, but I wanted to share the story. I've shared it before. I just like once in its completeness on this channel. And then I started to talk about it again when Tilted Lawyer was on last week. And I just kind of chose to finish the story, like not even like barely into it. I was like, I'm not going to go all the way with this. I just got a really bad feeling about it and wanted to stop talking immediately. Oh, Metallica Battery is one of my favorite songs. This case kind of ruined it for me. Oh my goodness. Oh. And also, I just wanted to say, I saw it a while back here. Oh, there we are. And hi, honey. What's that? Yeah, I'm almost done. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you, honey. And thank you very much, Chris. Am I saying it right? Thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I very much appreciated you and chat tonight. You guys, you've been great, and you guys have all been great. She said Kelly was relationship deterioration and repair taken for your capstone. Was that my topic? No, that wasn't my topic, but that was Chris Watts' topic, wasn't it? Oh my gosh. No, this was part of my, this was like a second level of my, behavioral therapy studies. It was really shit. That's funny. Relationship deterioration and repair. You know, it took me so long to understand what Chris Watts was saying when you guys all know what we're referring to, that video of him where he's talking about relationship deterioration and repair and saying, you know, one way to, you know, maybe repair a relationship is to have children. Maybe you stray because, you know, you think that there's something better out there. It took me so long to understand what he was even saying when he said relationship deterioration and repair. Him and his funny little Southern accent. It's funny. Let me get some more comments here. Oh, thank you, Kimmy. Don't, you're protected. Thank you, guys. You're so very supportive. I appreciate it. But it was really weird. Someone said earlier in chat something about check out Christina Randall's video about something weird that happened to her with the Watts case. Somebody had told me about that before, and I love Christina Randall. I hadn't, you know, on my own heard her talk about that, but somebody told me about that a while ago, that something happened to her, and she eventually, I think this person said, told the story. I tried to find that, but all I could find was her saying, you know, guys, I just want you to know I stopped talking about the Watts case because there was some crazy stuff going on in my house. And I never was able to hear what actually happened to her. I'm so curious. Oh, Joan says, Kelly, I remember all of that and so glad and proud to still be here with you. That's right. Joan was with me way back when that actually happened. Yes, that's right, Joan. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I love you, Joan. Hey, Red Librarian, how are you doing? Christine says, I still cannot get over the dog handler being 100% out of sync with that poor canine police dog. I know. It's maddening, isn't it? I know. I am forever mad about this. Marina says, I'm still mad that they took prints and evidence from the truck but never processed it. How does that make sense in an investigation? I know. It's so wild. I will never get over that. I talk about it a lot on this channel because it enrages me. Are you talking about the curtain? It's not an electronic doorbell. It's like my house was built in 1938. Obviously, there's been some renovations and updates since then, but it was it was like an old-fashioned doorbell. Like if the electricity was off, it would still work. I think I've had it replaced since then, but wait, yeah, I have because I have the ring bell now. Yeah, I don't think it was electronic. Yeah, if my doorbell rang at 1 a.m., I'd be freaking out. Yeah, I mean, just that alone was enough for me. Man, I was telling that story for a long time. I'm way back in comments now. Holy cow, we've been here for 3 hours. My son came in right after I told this story. I'm glad he didn't call because I never told him that whole story because I don't want to freak him out. Yeah, melatonin doesn't really work that well for me, actually. Hi, honey. Cool, thank you. Aussie Jen says 3:30 is a common time to wake up for people who can see through the veil and often feel things. It's a spiritual time of night. I forget its name. You know what? I think I've known that about like 3 o'clock. I also have had, I don't know, various points during my life where, and one was somewhat recently where for consecutive nights in a row, I would wake up at like 3 on the dot. And it was like after a few nights I would wake up and I'd be like, Oh my God, for the love of God, please tell me it's not 3 o'clock. And I look at the clock and it'd be like 3 and I'd be like, no. Just weird. Ooh, oh, that's right. I forgot about that, but now I remember. I can't even say it out loud. You guys can read it. Yeah, Muck Boy, something like that. The Witching Hour. You're gonna need some defense classes. I've taken defense classes. I'm not so well. I mean, I am worried about, certainly people could physically overpower me, but this was something I just felt completely defenseless against. I'm so glad you said that. Kimmy Dawn says, I feel you're protected now. You wake up every night at 3:30. Ooh, that's insane. Yeah. Kelly, Muckboy says, Kelly, was this around the Seeking the Truth with Dave time? I also don't believe they checked camera. It's rare they do stuff that quick. Huh. Yeah, I was thinking that too, Muck Boys. And yes, it was exactly at that time, like you're referencing. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, because you mentioned it, I was thinking about when I was telling it. The camera check happened after it was the second time, and it still would have been that quick. So it's not like the 1 o'clock thing, and around 1 o'clock happened, and they were like, oh, let's get on the case and follow up on that. They were just like, crazy bitch, let's go do our next thing, right? But they didn't either look at the camera or tell me they looked at the camera until after the second time that they were back. But it was the one of them, like one of the cops was with me, and then some guy and his partner, whoever's with him, said they went and checked, and then they swapped. So yeah, that's how that happened. I guess they were just telling me that to make me feel better, but that's kind of crappy. Yeah, never open the door. Don't let them in if no one's there. Yeah. Yeah, right. Good point. Oh, yeah, you guys are saying the same thing. So Christina then says, people who study paranormal always say do not answer the door, and it's good that you didn't, because when you open the door, that's when stuff's going on. It said the evil forces can enter. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. There ain't no way I was opening that door. When I was standing there and I was saying I could feel something on the other side, I could feel it so strongly, and it was like making me sick. I couldn't, there was no way in hell I was going to open that door. No way. No way. Aw, thank you, Sherry. Sweet. Haven't you? I'm sure a lot of you guys have experiences like that. We need to have a live stream sometime where you guys can come up and talk about your experiences as such. We're on 3 hours now. I've got to get going soon. So now is not the time, but I would really love to hear them. Hey, Karen G, how are you doing? Karen says there is a card reader who has been speaking of the entity created by this case. Oh, really? Huh. Interesting. What does this card reader say? Just know God will always protect you. Amen, Kathleen. It is so windy outside right now. Like everything is creaking. It's bugging me out. Hi, Kitty Witty. How are you? Kitty Witty says, my psychic friend who knew nothing of the Watts case said that Chris Watts was possessed by a D word, and there was a D word in the house. see, someone who is never really, yeah, I mean, I don't discount that. I don't know. And some of these comments I'm pinning, but for some reason I just don't want to say them out loud. It's nothing personal to any of you. I just don't know why. Oh. Christina says, the song Battery is about the fans, the family. Battery was the street of the club Metallica got their start on. Oh. Chris Watts gave the song a bad rap. Wow. That's really interesting. So that's really interesting too, because he tells investigators that he was looking up those lyrics because Nicole Kessinger wanted to know what that song was about. So if he's such a big fan of Metallica, the way he seemed to be, I guess, do you think he would know what that song was actually about? And what does that, I don't know. I'm not sure where my thoughts go in there. Let's see, Joan says, oh. Aw. Joan says, oops. Kelly is amazing and dedicated to her people and having a job and family. It's amazing. Thank you, Joan. You're so sweet. I just love Joan. Joan's been my girl since the very beginning, the very, very beginning. Stephanie says, what's the obsession incident similar to what you experienced also happened to me. What helped me tremendously and took it all away, including the feeling, is rebuking it right after speaking on it. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes good sense. Christina, are you talking about has weird experiences? Yeah, I'll have to find it. I've looked a couple times. I just didn't find it for some reason, but if it's there, I'm going to find it. Oh, Jody, it was like so crazy. Oh, wait. Did I go way back in time? Oh, yeah. Somehow I just dropped way back in time because I saw Keith coming again. Thank you for that. So Stephanie says, I always say this after speaking on it. I claim the blood over my home, myself, and family from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. I rebuke any evil spirits now. That's awesome. Thank you. In the name of Jesus. Kelly, it was SW. I'm not trying to make you worry. Joy to see Randall's story. Oh. This happened to you over a year straight? What happened to you over a year straight? Oh, waking up at 3. Yeah, I know. That's why I got to get in current comments. I don't want to miss any of them, though, but I know. Muckboy says, I guarantee you it was a demon from that person. You're good now. I feel like that could possibly be true, Muckboys. Man, he caused me so much trouble. Oh, my God. No, you have no idea. Oh. You are very welcome. I'm glad you guys were here. Thank you so much for being here. You're not the only one, Muck Boys. Yeah, that creator sent a whole like army, or created. I don't know. He's just psycho. The things I've heard from people that he was trying to get people to do to not only ruin my YouTube channel but ruin my life. I mean, it's freaking nuts. And the only reason he's probably still not at it is because I have a cease and desist order against him that survives crossing the ocean apparently. But it got to that point. Oh. Are you kidding? Cheryl says, I know I'm scared. There's just a knock at my door. We're here with you, Cheryl. Don't open the door. Hey, Tammy, how are you doing, honey? I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. Oh, I wish you would have pulled out your phone and recorded. That way you would have evidence to show the police. I never would have had the presence of mind to do that. But good thinking. Muckboy says, Kelly, but it was something sent from that person. Dude had demons. Do you truly believe that? I mean, he's such a dark, terrible, awful person. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, Jesus Christ, he made 13 consecutive videos completely trashing me with virtually none of it being true. Yes, I have faults, but none of them are what he was saying about me. And, did some other horrible things that went beyond YouTube and into my life beyond YouTube that were just absolutely effing crazy. So, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I guess it was frozen shock face, but you called 911. You're so funny, Angel D. Aww. I always wanted to know why and when okay. I always wanted to know why when SR talked with SW and she told her mom, I'm sorry. I think I read that wrong or something. I'm tired, but it sounds interesting. That channel's removed. That's why he's at it. Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh. All right, guys. So I got to wrap up. But, I feel like I should wrap up on a happy note. Thank you guys so much for being here. It was, you guys were awesome in chat tonight. I really appreciate you. And thank you so much, moderators. Thank all of you guys. Members, subscribers, people who are watching replay, lurkers. We love you too, lurkers. Don't worry. I see you. I love you. And, I always say, lock your windows and lock your doors because it's a crazy world and you want to be safe and life is hard. So please, please, please be good to each other and mostly yourself because I know you deserve it. And I feel like I need to say more tonight. Yes, always wonderful. But I think I'm out of words. And let's go with this too. If evil knocks at your door, do not open it because you don't want to let that bitch in. And I also really like the prayers and stuff you guys sent along in suggestions. Those are wonderful. Huh. Yeah, I got you, Aussie Jen. Yeah, that story is hard for me to tell. Oh, well, hey, I'm glad you stopped by to say hi. Hope work went well for you. All right, guys, I hope everyone has a wonderful night. I think I'm just going to end it there. Well, you know what? Let's end it with, we can have a couple giggles at NK. Here we go. All right. Love you guys. Hope to see you soon.
I guess just call me back when you have a chance. Bye. Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi. Call me back.
Thank you so much for coming out here with me, Christopher. I am having a wonderful time. You mean a lot to me, and I'm glad that you're having a blast. I am so out of breath.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm really trying to help you guys. I need you guys to help me too. Like,
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
do this as a team, but just don't.
So
fucking let me down,
the
please.
reason why we can't, like, I did think about this yesterday, that I would like to sit down with you once we have your text messages and the phone calls, and we can put them in a some type of easily looking, that we can sit down and look at them and compare them, and we can kind of get the context of how everything was going that night. I would like to do that with you. Unfortunately, so the download that we got yesterday is going to take multiple days to be analyzed. I probably won't have it back till next week. And then because you guys did have so many text messages, one of my analysts is working on getting those in order, so we can put something together where we can actually sit down and discuss it. But I do think that's something that I want to do in the near future, sometime probably next week.
I mean, I can do that. I don't mind giving you guys my time. I just need you guys to, like, help me with my employer and try to just help me brace for this media thing.
I'm with you. We definitely need to accelerate the case, because the more it takes, the less sure that they are of situations.
He murdered her. She's out of the picture. You're never going to know if she was pregnant. If he can get away with murder, you're not going to. I got divorced from my wife. You say, do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone,
But this.
Don't lead.
Hypothetically.
Please.
Yeah.
Don't
Hypothetically.
lead on.
If she, you understand where I'm going. If
Right,
you
but you're-
didn't know.
You're leading into questions that are nothing with your.
If you didn't know, though.
Wait, Nick.
That she was there.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm following you.
Stop asking about it. She didn't have anything to do with it. She wasn't there that morning. She voluntarily cooperated with law enforcement. She provided us all the information. I'm not going to tell you where she's at. Stop. Leave me alone.
Real Justice swears that everything is NA. Oh my God. He's, like, I don't know. Just the whole, like, blame NA for everything bit is so off the wall to me. I can't even. One of his videos, because I'm subscribed to his channel, one of his videos came into, like, my feed earlier, and I watched it, and I sent the link to somebody who's a moderator here and who's a good friend of mine, and I was like, what the actual fuck is this? Like, it's like, Nicole Kessinger's talking about Shanann's purse, and she's like, something, she just says something like Shanann's purse, and he's like, what she wanted to say is Shanann's purse is at Black Mesa Road. Like, what? Where did that even come from? It's total gaslighting. I like RJ for some reason, but it's just super bizarre to me. There's literally no actual evidence to show that NK did anything other than to be a good friend who was in touch with her friend and just wanted to make sure she was okay after she spent a weekend with her, understanding what a total, absolute effing mess she was for so many reasons. So it's just that whole shtick needs to end. I know. Jody is cool says real justice thinks that Watts the Obsession is fake. Yep, I know. He's always like, I'm gonna make a video debunking you and Red X, and just it's only gonna take 1 second of the video clip. I'm like, debunk what? First of all, Red X and I don't agree on too much, but she's fine. But what are you debunking? And how's it? But this is what he just keeps saying that and saying that and saying that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this to prove that you are a fake channel. What are you talking about? In Jesus' name, amen. Oh, I didn't know that. Here on this channel, Jody, it's because the other night we said that it wasn't NA. He started calling everyone names. We had to block him. Or was that like, I know that he was in chat like a month or two ago, and you guys were so awesome. He was mostly like, he was getting really irate and he was like saying nasty things about me, but I was like, the moderators have it handled, whatever. I don't know. And then he made some video. It was mostly focusing on how he felt Annie Elise was, fake about something. I don't know. But then he mentioned me briefly, and he said, Kelly's cool and all, but, what she's saying on her channel is fake. But then, as soon as the video came out, whatever was said in the like comment section was like, I don't know. It was like really angry at me. I don't know why. I don't know what I ever did. I'm always really polite to him when he's here. Did you? Yeah. I mean, I don't understand how it's hard for me to believe that anybody like who is in their right mind is, literally legitimately accusing Nicole Atkinson and her son of doing anything wrong, and they're being serious about it. Maybe if there's channels out there that are trying to like figure out like what their niche is going to be, their kind of counterculture, counter narrative niche, so they can get a little following and make a couple bucks, and maybe they're going to try to hit on that to see if it sticks. But anyone who's in their right mind, I truly do not see how anyone can think that. I usually can say, all right, well, I can see that other perspective, but in this case, I just don't get it at all. Oh, yes. And he says NK never lied. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think he's got it seems to me that he has like a real thing for NK. And just a real disdain on, I think, like maybe, I don't know, like a physical level for Nicole Atkinson. And that's what a lot of this is about. It feels like that. Right. I feel you, Loopy. We're talking about real justice. I mean, we already just wrote it in chat. It's fine. Hey, MK, how's it going? Late joining in. There is no more amazing coincidences in true crime than that video showing up. Which video? Yeah, Real Justice he has some good like skills. He can make good videos. He has like a lot of good things about him. I don't know what he like used to be about. I remember his videos coming out a long time ago. They were just like all numbered something, or I don't really know, but I don't know. Yeah, he has a lot. He has like a lot of good like I don't know, video making skills. Like very good. He has a lot of good things about him. I'm not hating on him. I just think that this whole NK Nicole Atkinson, was behind the murders is just absolutely batshit crazy. Maybe it was Real Justice knocking on my door, ringing my doorbell. That's right. Muck Boys has a thing for Casey Anthony and NK, but he still thinks that they're pieces of shit. Well said, Muck Boys. Well said. I like picking on you about that. Oh, McJ, just so much and nothing at all. So much and nothing at all. Joan says, it's ridiculous. He was all for Shanann Watts, then got an obsession over the RA. Oh, over an obsession over that dude wore the Chris Watts jersey to the cemetery. Are you talking about Real Justice still? I'm getting confused. I'm confusing myself. Kate says, I think that RJ is personal friends with NK. It feels like it. Yeah, no, I don't blame you, Loopy Housewife. No. It is getting a little clownery-ish, Yeah. That's why I was wondering too, but I think it was a typo. I'm not sure. Hi, honey. Okay, I actually have to go to bed. My son needs me too. And I said I was going to go half an hour ago. But all right, guys, everyone, lock your windows, lock your doors. Remember to be good to yourself because you deserve it. And I will see you very soon. I think there's going to be a members only live on Sunday. Short one, but there will be one. I'm going to schedule it tomorrow. Bye. Oh, yeah. He says that my 518 video is fake. Can't figure out why, says Katie. I can't figure out either. If someone knows, please do let me know. But thanks for being here, guys. Have a good morning, evening, whatever it is for you.